Hello, everybody. I'm Peter at Cardboard Alchemy. This is Luke Laurie at Cardboard Alchemy.
And I'm Luke Laurie at Cardboard Alchemy.
We're here on a Friday, or whenever you're watching this, to tell you basically what behind the scenes at a publisher. And this is a particularly awesome week for us because we launched Andromeda's Edge Genesis this week. So not only does Luke work at Cardboard Alchemy, but he's also the designer of that game, co-designer with Maximus Laurie. And so this is another game of yours launching this week.
It's pretty awesome. I think we said this is like the 8th project that I've been involved in. And how many projects have you been involved in? Crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding, I've done 12. Cardboard Alchemy has done 7. This is number 7 for Cardboard Alchemy. Which when we first, when I looked at that the other day, I was like, 7? How did we do 7 already?
Yeah. And a lot of people do 1 and they see how it goes and that is it. But you just keep coming back.
I don't know why I keep getting on this ride, but that's, that's part of it's like a roller coaster. I've said that before. The thrill of a crowdfunding campaign is so great. And then you hear that click, click, click as you're going over the highest peak you've ever gone over. And you start to have that moment of like, wait a minute, am I ready for this? And then, of course, what ends up happening is a lot of backers say, yes, I would love to fund that game with you. I want to make that game. I want to see that game come into existence.
It also feels like as we're leading up to these campaigns, we're dotting every I, we're crossing every T. We're thinking about every possible question that could be asked, anything that could go wrong, ensuring that every asset is in place.
Yep.
And then still, as soon as things happen, all these uncertainties pop up.
Yeah,
these little fires break out.
A funny thing about that today is we were going to go live, and then the update that we sent out about an hour ago didn't go out because of a button click. That was my bad. And I've sent plenty of these updates before, but technology, and it's definitely when you're running one of these things, you've got all the production logistics, you've got all the development logistics, and then you even have the platform logistics of where you're trying to share information. And so also in this chat today, we got Rosie, our comms manager, who's just sending out the links, but it's going to make sure that if you're asking questions, we get your... So we're on StreamYard right now, which we've run our streams on StreamYard, and StreamYard keeps adding new features, and all of a sudden it's like it doesn't work like it did last week. So the ever-changing landscape of, getting games, so many games get made a year, and of course you're trying to figure out how you're going to get your game noticed. One of the things we like about crowdfunding is the fact that it tells people that it's coming rather than it just showing up in a store and suddenly being there.
I'm also shocked. Like I've seen your collection, both your collection here in the office and your collection in your house, and you just look at these walls of games, and for any game to even have the distinction that you're willing to pull it off the shelf as opposed to anything else is remarkable with so many games out there.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty exciting when you look down and 5,000 people are ready to expand Andromeda's Edge right now.
5,000 people, which is amazing for an expansion. It's huge. So if you've backed already, we really appreciate it. If you've been here supporting us, it's how this company is possible, right? We are making these games for you, for your tabletop, a little bit for us, because of course Andromeda's Edge is a passion project, particularly that working on with Luke since the days of working on Dwellings of Eldervale. We've liked this whole worker placement, unique workers, strong pullback action. So yes, we're making them because we love to make them, but also to hear that a bunch of people love this game is awesome, right? It's really affirming to get that. It's also, by the way, affirming. I'm not going to dwell on this, but all the people saying that my hair today is nice. I appreciate that. I'm going full Macaron Sid porn, apparently, with today's hairdo. But anyway, Rosie, are you ready to come on? No, she's still sending links out, so we're going to talk for a little bit more.
I saw Axel's in there. Yes, Mark's in there.
Mark Dandridge, AE for the win. Box Meeples, thank you for covering Andromeda's Edge Genesis, by the way. Box Meeples puts out a top five, and it's a great way to look at a game because as you're going through that top 5, you're getting different mechanisms. And so we really liked your video.
I love that video. It's fantastic.
And Slusher afternoon, because of course we're all over the world right now in different parts of the world. It's not the morning like it is here. We've got so many people. Thanks, Axel, by the way, for the for the compliment on that. So yeah, just right there, I clicked on. We have the UK and Mexico, and we've got a lot of different countries in here. So.
And I apologize. I can see comments. I'm not sure if I know everybody's screen name. I might know you in person, or, but it's great to see everybody here.
Yeah. So you came down for this because you are in California, not necessarily at the office all the time, but.
Yeah, so California, for those who are not aware, is larger than so many countries. And so even though on a map, Peter and I are like adjacent, like I'm right next to Cardboard Alchemy on a world map, it takes me 3 hours without traffic. But because part of that is Los Angeles, it can take me 4 to 5 hours to get here sometimes.
Yeah.
Yesterday was one of those days. But we got to play games last night, which was really special.
We took a break from Andromeda's Edge for a brief moment because you can go play it on TTS, which we've been doing for weeks. And but we played you taught a game. What'd you play? We played
Revive.
Revive.
I love that game, and it has a lot of my design sensibilities, because I like games where you don't have rounds, where you have continuous play, where you kind of get this smooth flow throughout it, engine building.
Yeah.
That said, it took us a while because it was the first play for 3 players, and we were thinking through it pretty carefully. And then Peter taught us Salt Fjord. Also a fantastic game, which was like a
look at that. We got some. Revive is great.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Great game. You know what's funny about how many games that are out there? I had never heard of that game. Was that for recall from them as well? Interesting. So it's so funny that so many games are made per year, and we're just talking about how anything stands out on a shelf.
It's a top 100 on BGG, and
top 100
Peter hadn't heard of it yet.
Right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh man, I feel so ashamed right now, but it was a really good game. I loved all the combo-licious stuff in there.
Yeah.
I liked seeing that I had a power which immediately grounded me to what I wanted to do. And then I also had a goal card which grounded me further, saying, okay, this is where your power and your goal intersect, right? I had something where one of my goals was how many things were near water, and my power was how I could get more benefits from being near water. So I just set out with this, like, this is what I want to do. And along the way, I was like, especially when you're doing the teach and you're saying, by the way, these people that you're putting out on the map, it looks like there's only 7 of them, but you can have an entire game where you never get to that part of the game. You're doing something else. I love that when games have enough depth where I could play it again and again and keep trying different strategies, different things. This is what we try to pour into Andromeda's Edge. Part of the reason why it's funny that, an expansion came out, because when we finished Andromeda's Edge, I think you would have said, it's complete.
No, we, and we did this with Dwellings too, where we said to ourselves, this might be it. This might be our one chance of making this game. We don't want to leave anything out. We don't want to leave anything untouched.
That's how Quasars, Vortexes, Destiny cards.
We put it all on the floor. And so, we're done, the sweat's dripping from our forehead, and we're like,
that was some work.
And then we feel like that there wasn't room for more, that there wasn't room for growth. And within a year of Andromeda's Edge being out, Maximus and I just started waking up and seeing, like, wait, there's something more here.
Yeah.
And I feel very, we talked about the uncertainties with crowdfunding and everything. There are no uncertainties about the design. And you can say it, you can see it, you can play it right now on TTS. This thing clicks, and it clicks in a way where,
thank you, Phil, for noticing. So much content.
You put it into the game. It might not sound like, if you just read the components, it might not sound like it, but when you put that into the game, it goes all right in. You can take the whole expansion, dump it right in, and it gives you different choices within the same network. So there's no like new sideboard that you have to interact with, whole new scoring mechanism or anything like that.
A lot of people are worried
It's
about
just
that.
right there in front of you. You might have a different faction. You beat a raider, and instead of getting this benefit, you draw an Exotech card. Instead of getting that development card, you get one of these new development cards. And as a result, you've got all kinds of different options. And what we tried to do was to take the game to the level of where, let's back it up. Long ago, when we were working on Dwellings, there was some caution that we were having about mechanics. And we're saying like, well, I don't know, this is getting a little bit powerful on this faction, and like maybe we should tone it down. And Peter, you said something to me like, no. This is what we want. We want the faction ability to feel awesome. We want everything to feel awesome.
Yeah.
We don't want it to
100%.
be so incremental that you feel like it is unimpactful.
Right.
So with Genesis takes Andromeda's Edge from already having a feeling like everything is broken to where like all those things you couldn't do before, there's now a way to do them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I noticed that you went into, oh, I'm going to take supremacy tokens from the box.
Yeah.
Right.
They're right over there.
I'm going to basically, we're going to take over raiders. We're going to move developments. There's stuff in there that's just like, what that's happening right now. What I think is probably the most challenging about that is finding 3 factions that didn't feel more powerful than 18 other factions and felt competitive with 18 other factions.
They had to be competitive. They also had to, have to have a sense that you feel different when you're playing it. Like you are a different, type of being that is approaching the game in a different way. And it took some time to get there. Yeah. But interesting note, we're now September 12th. It was just about this week exactly last year that we started designing Genesis. Wow. Yeah. So it was 1 year from beginning of the first concepts of the factions, I think, is where we started. Then getting into the tiles, shrines.
Also, it was 1 year ago that we started delivering. No, the crowdfunding, which we started. So the timeline of Andromeda's Edge is it crowdfunded in 2023, but of course you were working on it in, well, there's dated versions before 2022, 2021. But then it took from 23 till September of 24 to come out. And so then you're saying that it's another year then that Genesis has been cooking.
Right.
So it's really interesting. These things take a long time to come out.
Box Meeple asked about controlling raiders because, that was a really, we're pretty responsive. We care about what people like and we pay attention to what people dislike in our games. And people really wanted to be able to dominate monsters, so to speak. In Dwellings of Eldervale, there's this thing called dominating the monsters, and people love it. It happens rarely. It's not a common occurrence in the game.
A couple things can do it. Yeah.
And when it does happen, it feels like a game changer. It feels really great, but it also isn't completely a game changer. It doesn't completely destroy everyone else's opportunity to get a win.
What's really funny is the person who takes over the monster probably loses because they're so distracted by having a monster that they're off their game. It's not actually bad for you because you can just stay away from it and crush them in points.
Right. The monster can't dwell in Eldervale. So Andromeda's Edge is a more complicated game. It's more layered. And in addition, the raiders in Andromeda's Edge are extremely tough. So that's a different level when you say to yourself, I'm okay with a player controlling this raider.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was afraid of. It's like, that's pure concentrated evil. Don't touch it. There was a couple things where I was reluctant to go there with design, and we went there. And we went to many other things that make it so that when you open this Pandora's box of these amazing things in Genesis, you're going to feel like you broke the game. And they will. And they will too.
And what's funny about it from the publisher's side, because Luke's out there and he mentions that he and Maximus are just kind of getting awakened by new ideas in their head. Meanwhile, I hear reviewers, for better or worse, going, Why can't I take over a monster?
Yeah.
Why isn't the raider reward stronger? And then I come back and I'm like, could we make the raider reward stronger? Could we take over raiders? And that has to percolate in your head with what you were already thinking about.
And my response to Peter is always, no way. And then he keeps at it until I'm like, wait, there's a way. We got to find the way.
Keep going. Just wait till you all find out what I've been asking for in Whisperwood. It's going to be great. But we should get Rosie on. Are you ready to come in? Yes. Okay. So because there's questions happening, I want to make sure we get to everyone's questions. And the person who's going to help us do that is Rosie Pocket. How's it going?
Hello. I'm totally chill. If any of you are here because you saw the newsletter, just say, I don't know, I'm here from the newsletter or newsletter or yo, that was last minute, something like that. Because I'm noticing the numbers going up and people are getting it. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we said the update this morning and it didn't go, but I believe everyone's going to be joining us now. So, hello everybody. If you're just joining, we do a Cardboard Alchemy stream every Friday, or whenever you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. And you can ask questions about Flamecraft or Critter Kitchen, or in this case, Andromeda's Edge. Andromeda's Edge Genesis is live until the 24th, and we've got the designer here, also one of our developers. So it's the perfect time to talk about design and development or crowdfunding or whatever you want to talk about. Or if you want to have, I mean, you can get to the nitty gritty and say, I have a question about this part of the pledge. And we'll say, okay, there's probably a fact for that, but we'll still answer it right here.
Yep, absolutely. So first, we are doing a giveaway.
Oh, yes, we are doing a giveaway.
We're doing a giveaway, which means, and it's a new fangled thing for StreamYard that came in 2021. Ooh, that's how on it we are. And basically, it means that you can all enter a giveaway by just commenting a phrase. I'm just going to tell you all about that. So you could win. I'm going to get rid of this banner. Goodbye, banner. Keep asking you questions. You could win this handsome bundle of...
Oh, what? I don't even have that.
Luke doesn't have it.
Luke doesn't even have that. Luke will probably get it before you, but...
right here.
Right there. Look at that.
Yeah. So you pull up the mat because it is quite big.
One lucky viewer will receive with their pledge. You do have to be a backer, but you could always just back and then you'll get this added on. A premium mat, which you can choose which size you want, and the obelisk dice tower, which is beautiful and stunning. I don't even have that actually, and I have everything.
I know.
So
the only one over here.
You're the only one.
Dude, we're gonna make more. It's the laser rocks.
The mat is actually right here.
I know. I wish I could.
We were eating donuts on it last
night. So all you need to do is comment in the live chat, #ToTheEdge, ! And it can be lowercase, I think. And my little screen will be logging it. And at the end, I'll screen share and we'll press a button and it will pick a winner. So that's what should work. I have done a test. So
we'll see if it works.
But hopefully I should already start getting. I've already got 2 entries. Look, 6 entries. Look at it go.
I want to say this is awesome to get this shout out, LaserRox. I'm glad people appreciate that LaserRox makes really good stuff. We're actually partnering with someone did a post online on Facebook that said, "Oh, it's so cool that Andromeda's Edge is partnering with Galactic Cruise. Like we're Cardboard Alchemy with Kinson Key, but actually we're also partnered a little bit with Cosmic Frog, because we did talk to them about putting one of their frog minis in this game. We're also, someone pointed out, we partnered with ourselves with Flamecraft. We have partnered with LaserRox. We partnered with Game Toppers. We partnered with Game Trays. We really enjoy collaborating, you know? So I think that part's really fun.
And then for those we don't collaborate with, we find ways to sneak in references to them.
Right, because people will have noticed that there's a faction that's coming in Genesis called Martian Terraformers, and that there's a faction called Allied Tribes, which is a reference to Rise of Tribes, and we've got the Elders of Dwellinon. That doesn't
sound like anything.
You know, even Space Pirates of Nightmare Cove relates to a game that I made in 2012. So there's just a fun assortment of Easter eggs in these things.
So many.
Anyway, Matt and Dice Tower is what we're trying to win. I hope everybody...
Yes to the exclamation mark, because I love to be...
We're never going to find the questions now, Rosie.
No, it's fine, because I've starred them.
Okay, good. So
But yeah, I'll keep reminding you of this throughout the stream until we get to the end. Just to comment, but you do have to be a backer, or you will be a backer before you win your prize. So
you will accept the prize. You're back.
Accept the prize.
So this is augmenting a pledge.
Well, no, I mean your entire pledge could be the Matt in the Dice Tower.
It could, exactly.
But we don't meet you in an alley with the Matt in the Dice Tower. You have to be on Gatebound.
And also, I added everyone on the Discord. But if none of you are aware, Tim Chorn's got a fantastic video, which is where he gets. It's so funny. It's so funny. And I mean, I never expected him to say the words "Hello Kitty Monopoly," but he did. And it's probably my favorite photo of him ever. Is him just like really upset about saying it. So go and give it a like, because we need to hit 1,500. And I think we can do it about halfway now. So
I told Tim on there that if he gets out, I'm going to be challenging him to a duel.
I would love to see that game.
He's accepted. This is happening at some point.
Nice.
So if you also want to see,
because we played at Essen last year.
You did. Yeah. Did Tim win?
Oh, not at all.
No, he was destroyed. That's why he's been like sent to Unity Camp to learn.
Unity Camp. He's gone to the dark side. He's like, I'm sick of losing. But yeah, so
I only lose to Axel and Ellie and Domino.
God. People are like, let's do a 2-player. Let's do a Java's Edge duel.
Pretty much everybody on Discord beats me.
Yeah. He did one of the best videos. I just want to tell people, like, we really enjoy the content creators that make videos. A lot of them are doing it. There's many people who do it for free, who just love to be part of something with the game and love to help and love to be part of that community, right? They love the collaboration we're talking about. And so one of the reasons why we make these social goals is to give back. And Tim has poured in, I mean, he's done dry ice and he's done above and beyond laser work and stuff like that. And we really want everyone to go to his channel and see the kind of stuff he's making and support Tim, because it's only like if he gives up, we have less game coverage. Now I know we do work with Tim, and we do contract him to cover our games, so he is fine. He is getting, it's not like he's doing it for absolutely free, but because we love what he does so much, we decided that these 8 cards are going to basically, we're going to unlock them if everybody can just show that love back. And it should be a piece of cake, because it's just a like on a video and we're halfway there. So if everybody who's on the campaign, or everyone's in our Facebook group was just to go, got you, we would be there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give Exotech cards in return, which are 8 more cards added to the already. It's ticking up every day because, well, people are unlocking puzzles every day too. So I think we're up to like 27 cards. So it's 8 more on top of that. So
I'll add to that. Tim is partly responsible for why Exotech exists.
That's true. He is.
The getting called out by Tim for Raider rewards. Like, Tim wanted to be able to get the Raiders' powers, and that got the wheels turning. And rather than having it be this literal, just when you beat Raider X, you get reward X, we turned it into this card deck. And within the deck are the abilities that are similar to all of the different Raiders.
It's one of my favorite parts.
If you want to roll dice like the cube, there's a card in there for that. If you want to rush into the fight, like the Paralon Rifler, and get extra targeting, you can get that. If you want to drain the energy, like the Chupa Vampra, you get to do that through Exotech. So defeating the Raiders is the primary way of getting these cards. So we built cards around all the Raiders, but then we also built cards around all these concepts, which would be like, how would Raiders play this game? What are the kinds of things they would do? And would they be friendly about it? So the Exotech isn't necessarily more take that, but it has these effects that feel a little bit more conflict oriented.
Yeah. What I love about the fact that the Raiders are all represented in there is that sometimes you're going to be playing a game and you take over the Ion Assault and you cause damage like the Ion Storm, and it will be cool, but the Ion Storm's not in that game. And other times it'll be like, the Ion Storm is right there, and it will feel like it was meant to be. Like you drew that card right at the right moment, and you grab the Ion Storm's power, and then a wave of a scientific blast of energy and ions blast.
Devil's Treasure, I think, is Andy from Gen Con, and he said that Mortality Sphere is one of his favorites. And that one is the diplomacy card where you pay 3 energy
to just win.
You fire up the super laser and you just win.
Right.
You win the battle outright.
It's over.
So there's some of that in there.
I saw that was in Shay Parker's coverage of it. He had that card. He had so many of those that were coming up for him. He had like all of these different powers. And then he was going into these battles and he was like, I don't know how I'm going to win. I'm like, you're holding the Mortality Sphere's laser. Just get some energy. You're going to crush this thing.
Yeah. The worst thing you can do with Exotech cards is hang on to them.
Yeah, it's true. I actually also think I've seen that in a couple of videos or a couple of plays now. The precog hybrids, which we made, they started off being, they could know the future, but they weren't that powerful. And then they slowly got more and more power as we were doing some of that balancing to get them just right. And their current power level is that if they have 3 cards or less, they can trade one of those cards in for an Exotech. And this reminds me a little bit of the Pulseware refugees, that if they are lower than 3 cards, they get a card. Right. If you sit there with those cards and you don't spend them, you're not going to see more cards. And so it's this thing of you got to get those cards moving. Like, even if you're like, well, I don't know if this is the perfect time to play, Assume Command, just get those cards flowing. Because once you get that action efficiency, those free actions, you're going to see a lot more of the game, and you're going to have opportunities that start to present themselves.
I saw a question back there a while ago that I think is a pretty important one. And not so many folks, we haven't had a lot of folks who have had the opportunity to play repeatedly, and then have the conversations about it or talk with me about it. But the question is about game balance. Because people ask about like, how does the balance shift in the game? Like, what is the overall effect of once you put Genesis in your game? And it does affect the balance. And primarily what it does is it makes the play on the board, your position on the board, your board presence, and when and how you develop, it becomes more important. And the reason being is that you have the shrines along the perimeter of the board. You have the corrupted stars in the middle. And when you have your timing right, you are developing. You are then selecting a development card, which is now not just one choice. Now there are 4 choices for development cards. So you can pick the one that matches your strategy best, which doesn't necessarily slow you down as much as developing might have previously. But then once you've got developments on the board, now you're committed to that area of the board being a high quality place to live. And as a result, you want to ensure that the shrines that are nearby, if they're adjacent, and or the corrupted stars that are there get repaired. So you want to be restoring those stars, getting the stars flipped over, and then it creates potential for very high end of game scoring, which is even higher than your developments could score previously. As a result, the kind of the race and the tension about where and how to develop becomes more significant in overall scoring and in your strategic play. And it's not something that anyone should ignore. Once in a while, we get this criticism that like, oh, I can just collect a bunch of resources, not use them, and get the vault. And I go for it. I'm going to develop.
I mean, that's one of the things that we weren't worried about when we saw that kind of those comments is that when everyone who's dove deeper into the game has figured out, oh, wait a second. Andromeda's Edge, and it's a lot like this in Dwellings, you cannot let someone just have their perfect game. You need to get in there and mix it up. What I like about the Genesis elements is and this was brought up in a couple of the content creators' videos, is that shrines have an interaction because they have a shockwave and because there's a race. If you go early, you get very few points, but you guarantee you're going to get it. If you go late, you might miss it. Corrupted stars have an interaction, but I even like comparing corrupted stars to vortexes in the sense that vortexes, you can't just let someone sit on a vortex the whole game, right? Or they'll get too many credits. You have to I was playing a game against Domino in our Discord, and Domino is amazing at this game. And we were playing with a couple people, and I was like, "We're not going to let Domino sit on that vortex, are we? We have to go in there." And of course, I tried, and I lost that battle because he pulled out a tactics card and stopped the battle. And I was like, "Someone else has to get in here, or he's going to control the narrative of this game."
There's no parking on the dance floor. You gotta
you gotta do
something about
you gotta do something in that game. And I love that. Some of the other things I really like what we did in the game is that we made decision spaces about, you can decide which event deck you want in, and if you do the Shadows of the Void, you got to pay attention to the events because they could be good, they could be bad. If you pick Genesis, you got to pay attention to what's the timing of the events. If you pick Galactic Dawn, you just get a little bit of a break on that kind of stuff. So it's what you want to do. And I also really like how we put the vortexes, quasars, and corrupted stars in the exact same space, so that from a design standpoint, that also allowed you to say, I know A and B can't be in the same game. And so now I get to just make sure A is good and B is good. To some degree, that constraint, I'm sure, helped us. Because early on, we were like, we don't know if the Nether Void will be over here and have no impact, or if it won't. So we decided to focus the Nether Void in one spot. And the Cosmic Swamp, which we barely talked about, is also very focused in that central spot, which is going to be fun for people.
And that the Cosmic Swamp also leans into that. What are the things you couldn't do previously that we could unlock? And that's a good transition, because the Cosmic Swamp has abilities that are similar to the way that the Nether Void works, and that you launch your ship into the Cosmic Swamp, you roll your battle dice as if your ship was in a battle, and then you take a look at your dice rolls, and you can choose a result that matches one of your dice.
You've entered the multiverse.
Well, 3 of these things are take something from the box.
Which is epic.
Taking a green science discovery token from the box, you get to pick. You get to look at what ended up not in the game and choose the things that are not in the game. You can go and get a supremacy token, which oftentimes those are even stronger than those discovery tokens.
Right.
Pick the one you want and it's yours. But then there's this, you get to take a faction ship upgrade from the box. And this power exists, I might be spoiling something, but exists on a development card.
Yeah, we haven't revealed every development card yet, but yes, it's on a development card.
It may or may not exist on a development card. It may or may not exist on an Exotech card.
Right? There's a couple places now that you're going to be able to get a faction.
But if you were to imagine a scenario where you were able to repeatedly pull faction ship upgrades from the box, like repeatedly going to the Cosmic Swamp, and I think it's rolling a 5, and you could build the dream fleet.
Right. And so on today's update, because I really enjoy thinking about what would everybody's dream team be in terms of ship upgrades. So in today's update, we posted the first example of a dream team. And what I was trying to do is imagine that you have a faction already, so that you're starting with something. So in this particular case, on the update today, I was imagining that you already have the Mav from Martian Terraformers, because you're trying to play one of the new factions. But then you go to the Cosmic Swamp 3 times and you grab, the Doomsday device, you grab the Night Flag so that you could use other people's modules, and then you grab the Starwing, the most ferocious science vessel ever. And as I was making that dream team and we were kind of coming up with it, it's like there are so many cool ones. So I don't know if everyone saw that update, but we've also asked Luke to come up with, on the fly, a dream team with 4 modules that we're going to show you right now. And then Luke can talk through why he picked those. Just a fun combo.
While you're bringing that up, just a little aside, because I don't know how much we've talked about all 3 of these factions, but the Mav. So if you've seen The Martian, or if you've read the book The Martian, spoiler alert, the beginning of the movie, they leave Mark Watney on Mars. So as soon as
spoilers all throughout this,
as soon as things get in trouble, the Mars ascent vehicle launches into space, leaving Mark Watney behind. Turns out later on, of course, that's also, hey, you got to get off Mars eventually anyway. So it's finding those fun little references, if people can,
Yeah.
they can put those pieces together, is always fun.
Yeah, and in
One
the
of my comfort movies, and also one of the most stressful movies I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, in
A
Andromeda,
real Venn diagram.
the Mav goes extra distance and has extra attack, and if damaged, can go back to your launch bay. So it's really kind of neat the way that one works. So anyway, that was already shown on the update. Now I'm going to show you another one that Luke made, and what I'm going to do is we're also going to put a graphic on BGG later where everyone can like look at a glance at all the transports, and you can kind of tell us what your dream team would be. But here's what Luke put together just on the fly, and this is, take it away. What's in this team?
Well, when I don't want to think about it, and I think I'm probably just going to grab one ship upgrade, and I don't have my heavy cruiser yet, I just close my eyes, reach into the box, and I grab the Doomsday device. Right. It's just so easy to just say.
Okay, so you're saying you would pick the other team.
I would just say no. I just want muscle.
Oh, okay. So you got muscle. That's.
But
clear.
If I were going to be assembling a full team, like if I were
they work
being
together.
able to get something that would work together with each other and also with the faction abilities, this is the Dream Wood Whisperers ship team. So this is, for those who are not familiar, the Wood Whisperers have the ability to repurpose corruption, which means that anytime that they repair, they take those damage tokens, those little red damage tokens, and they keep them. And they're able to trade them in for credits or energy pretty much whenever they want. And as a result, those little tokens are better than gold.
And now I see why the torch is here.
Now you see. So the Unfettered Owl is the regular faction ship upgrade for the Wood Whisperers, which lets them fly at great distances, range 3, scoop up all the moons on a planet, look through them, pick the ones they want. Well, a lot of times what you really want with the Wood Whisperers is to get repair moons and to build an industry tableau where you have multiple repairs.
Right?
Then get your hands on as much damaged stuff as you can.
Obliterated modules.
And also make sure that you can be accessing, getting to, and repairing the corrupted stars.
Right.
Now, one thing I didn't do on this team upgrade is I didn't pick ships with shields. And ideally, I would want these powers and also with shields, because if you have ships with shields, which a lot of times you can get those out of your neutral ship upgrades, because then you almost want that ship to lose some fights. So you're out there, you lose some fights, and then you pull back, and on your return to station, you automatically get to take those red damage markers off of your shields, and they feed right into your resource machine. But let's take a look at these 4. We've got the Unfettered Owls, Torch. Now, when Torch, the fighter, launches, you get to perform a repair. It's brazing. It's flying out there, and it's fighting off the enemies. But while it's at it, it's out there doing repairs on the side of the station.
Yeah.
You get the little red markers. You get to use those as resources. Then you've got your science vessel, the Prophet, that's launching out there. It's exploring deep space.
This is unfair because I would pick the Dark Star Acolytes because of this ship, and it's like if I had that as another faction, wow.
And it's like, nobody chose the Dark Star. That's all right. I will get the best of both worlds.
Wow.
So you've taken a look at what alternate realities are coming up in the event deck, and you get destroyed by a raider. You get ambushed by the mortality sphere.
It allows you to be a little bit more reckless because you know that you're going to come back. Your whole engine's coming back.
The Prophet's whole thing is Obi-Wan in the Death Star in A New Hope. Strike me down, and I will become more powerful than you can imagine. Because the Prophet goes into the scrapyard. And then when
everyone else does,
when you return to station, you get all those ships back. They all get repaired, and as those slide down, when you're the Wood Whisperers, you get a red damage marker for each of those ships.
The Merchant Skarn I wouldn't have seen in this team, but why is that there?
So the Merchant Skarn is great in that it has the ability to get where it needs to get with its range. And then it's additionally getting more credits. So you launch it to this is where you're going to be doing those develop actions.
Yeah, you got some
This
cash.
is where you're going to be going to get your modules. You're always going to have money in your pocket combining this with your red damage markers, your repurposed corruption,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be building. You could
so rich.
You could just
Seriously.
be building and building and building your tableau, and people come in and destroy you, and you will laugh while they're destroying you because you're going to come back in with your torch, or come back in later with your merchant's card. So
that's pretty good.
That's my dream team.
That's pretty awesome. You know what's really funny about this is that in development, the Owls came in a little bit late because Whisperwood is a game that's coming from Cardboard Alchemy, and you are developing Whisperwood, and you played that, and we were already trying to find out what this faction should be, and it was plant people. It was associated. It did start off as Chloroflorians, and we were struggling with the Chloroflorians because they didn't really have that their powers weren't really hooked in yet. But one of the things that's actually kind of funny about this, because the owl did come out because there are owls in Whisperwood, but originally the Chloroflorians actually, speaking of transports and shields, they actually had shields on. They had basically outer shells of like hard seed pods that basically.
Yeah, there's some funny
clever idea.
Yeah, there's some funny stories of the Chloroflorians. For one, there were various mechanics that we'd experimented with where you kind of planted the seeds and you grew developments.
Yeah,
turns out that was as fun as watching grass grow or paint dry. So
would you like a development later in the game, or would you like the development now?
There were some moments where some of that worked and was fun and was strategic and everything, and getting the feel of what is naturey and plant-like is fun. And then we wanted these transports that were really tough. And so the answer, because you can't just put a shield on the launch bay, on the ship upgrade for a transport, because it doesn't identify which transport got the damage, right? So I came up with a method where when these transports were damaged, you just flipped them over. So there's a transport sitting upside down like a turtle in a replicant test. And
and in testing, everyone would be like,
People,
I don't get it.
People
would I still build?
Yeah, people wouldn't ask. They would just reach over and correct your ship. They would just fix it. They would just turn it over.
I got you. You had your ship flipped over.
It's like, oh, wait.
Also,
no.
TTS, by the way, auto flipped the thing over.
All right, TTS didn't like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Owls are not only thematic to what we eventually put on this faction in terms of ancient druids restoring the forest, and a nod to our other game where there are owl companions you can summon to you. The owls having that huge range is awesome. I could see another one potentially in this batch to be like start with the Wood Whispers and having that damage ability, but potentially going for I don't know, like the Wolfpack ship where you're just landing on planets and getting points.
Fang?
Yeah, Fang. You could have Fang here as well. There's so many fun things you could do. You could get Slimer where you're not even taking damage. Well, no, Slimer would not give you the damage tokens that you need, right? You wouldn't necessarily want to combine those.
When it goes to the
it auto
yard,
goes, right?
I think it slides to the scrap yard.
So actually, Slimer would automatically.
I think that would work.
Yeah, I think Slimer would work. Anyway, there's so many combinations. So we hope that those of you who know the game will have fun with us and come and share a combo, because there's going to be so many different ways. Now, this is assuming you play the game and can get to the swamp or get cards that will do this. And sometimes that would be a distraction and other people will be winning the game while you goof around with your perfect combo. But I still think it's going to be fun occasionally to pull this off.
Yeah. Real quick, I saw a comment earlier about rescuing Matt Damon.
Is that something we're doing now?
Well, so we've got leaders, you go around and you recruit your leaders. They're on the alliance bases, which feels a little bit more like Firefly. You're kind of going around and building the team of the cast of characters who are going to carry
many references are there
carrying out your missions. But if the leaders were on like a red planet and an ice planet, then you could rescue Matt Damon in The Martian, and then you could go rescue Matt Damon in Interstellar, because he's always getting stuck on planets by himself.
It's also not just Matt Damon. It's also Jessica Chastain in both films, and they both came out. She's Why are they both? And you don't even really see each other or speak to each other in really either movie. Really, bizarre. They both.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon's a bit mean in one, and he's great in another one, and you got to remember which way round you're supposed to like him.
I just
Understandable.
showed my son the Alien movies, and it was great. So this is another spoiler, I suppose, but years later. So
I'm good.
The first movie, Alien, the android is bad, and then you don't know that, and then so my son's watching the second one, suspecting the alien, the android, the entire time, like it's going to go bad again, bad again, and of course, Aliens 2 led you to believe that it could happen, but actually, the person who's evil in that one is a corporate shill. Paul Reiser played like just a great job at a villain that you didn't see coming. So they switched it around where the AI was fine and it was a different villain for you.
The corporation is always kind of the bad guy.
Always, yeah, right.
But Alien is my favorite movie that has Bilbo Baggins and Tuco Salamanca in it.
There are a bunch of questions.
Yes, so questions before
I'm going to try and like get through these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is there another team? Is there another team that's getting shown? Or
no, we showed one in the update.
Okay.
So the one in the update shows the Doomsday device, which people will probably think of first on a team. And also it shows, I chose for that team Night Flag. I think there's a lot of fighters you could choose, the Terminator. There's a lot of really great, talk about the references in this game, which I would digress too much because there are all of them, basically. In fact, if you look on, so there's the Terminator reference on the Macaron Synthborn, but also on the precogs, you just put a power called No Fate, which is another Terminator reference.
No fate, but what we make.
Yeah. Anyway, and of course the precogs are a reference to Minority Report, which I believe, Rosie, you had to go, what? You hadn't seen that movie?
And Battlestar.
I've seen Minority Report.
All right, okay, you were covered.
I saw Minority Report first through my friend who gave me a blow-by-blow of the entire movie, literally scene by scene, described it to me. And then when I saw it, I went, yeah, she did a really good job. Like, she did especially the milk and the eyeball scene. Very well described.
So it's funny, I think it was me thinking of Tim Chewin because I think in his How to Play video, one of his players, Law, was making fun of him because he hasn't seen it yet. He needs to go see Minority Report before he can.
Oh, it's such a good film. Such a good film.
Yeah, Max von Sydow.
Yes,
any film he's
such a good villain.
I also love time travel movies, even though it's not really time travel, but it has like that kind of looking through time vibe to it. And yeah, we've talked about my extensive list of time travel movies.
We don't have enough time travel references in Andromeda's Edge. We don't have enough Matrix references in Andromeda's Edge.
No, we don't have any Matrix references. Maybe that's when we move to another board during play. The Nebuchadnezzar really does need to be.
Yeah, right? Okay, now there's a promo towel we're going to make.
The idea, like I like what you said, Rosie, because I always feel like there's this, it's in these films that are kind of surrealist films, like the Philip K. Dick kind of style. Some of it is about just questioning what is reality. Mm-hmm. And when it gets into kind of this fluidity of time, it kind of reflects on our brains and our minds. Like we exist always in the present moment, with our memories and with our anticipations. And in this form of sci-fi, the lines are crossed to where you're not sure which kind of present you're in. And that's kind of like hopefully what we're trying to capture with precogs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I love them. Always love a movie reference. Sorry. Questions. We'll get through some. There were already more questions already.
This picture because Luke and I took a picture with all the products.
Oh yeah.
That Andromeda's Edge has. Actually, the exotic matter is not shown there, but that's the standard box and the deluxe box, the escalation box, and the Genesis box.
Everything's in that black box, even though there's two copies.
We've managed to get all of the universe to fit inside that black box, which I will say that, like, because since people have come on the wall and said, does it all fit? Does it all fit? Does it all fit? A lot of campaigns have to answer that question with, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't fit. And I just have to say, it's pretty awesome that we can say, actually, we thought about that. We go back in time and say, yes, there's going to be, I said to Noah at the time, can you leave room for this many more regions, just in case we come back?
We were talking yesterday about how design constraints can foster innovation. That was true with the development of duels, Flamecraft duels. And that was absolutely true with us figuring out what Genesis was going to be. Because Peter and I were talking, and he's like, yeah, there's a little bit of room in the box. And then as I started to build it, I was like, there isn't room for doing any more. And he's like, well, what if we start, printing on the other sides of these tiles?
Yeah,
what if we swap this thing out over here? What if we move this here? And so those design constraints 100% were what we had to work in. Maximus and I, when we were designing Genesis, was it has to fit in the box, and anything we designed had to be in there. And we did that.
Yeah. Asterisk, there's a tuck box. But yes, it totally fits
in the box.
It fits in the box.
If you sleep.
I did ask on the wall, does this fit in the box? And I had to say no, it does not fit in the box. But
No. Okay, so because there's so many questions, I'm going to challenge you to a speed round. See if you can answer them quickly. Just to remind everyone, after this, we're going to do the giveaway. See who got it.
Yep.
So you need to do #ToTheEdge. Exclamation mark. So make sure you do that. Okay. Was controlling the raiders always on the cards? Why wasn't it in the base?
I think we answered that already. Too hard.
Well, there we go. Speed round.
Yep. Got it now.
How far were the shrines planned in advance? The half hexes being available spaces on the original board seems like it's planned all along.
Shrine started last year, right about this time.
I did ask. I said I actually wanted wormholes where you could travel to another board of Andromeda's Edge being played on another table at a convention. And Luke's like, no, we're not doing that. But I will come up with ideas for the half tiles for you as soon as I have the brain space for that.
Check. Done.
Yay. Which faction was the hardest to get just right?
Ooh, that is tough.
I'm assuming that means from the Genesis.
All 21.
All three of the Genesis factions were difficult, very difficult, and they all got tweaked.
Factions
many
that
times.
I remember getting tweaked a lot. I remember the Nebulon got tweaked a lot. I remember the Wolf Guardian Howlers getting tweaked a lot.
Part of it was we went through stages of what was the expected power level. And as the game changed, that changed the power levels of the factions. Similarly with Genesis, for example, the precogs, they were weak. As the Exotech cards got better and better and better, suddenly the precogs were unbeatable. And so we had to dial back the precogs to compensate for the change in power of Exotech.
Yeah, when you have one faction, it just has to work with one faction. And when you have 21, they have to now go back and look at all the other ones and make sure they're going to work. So I would imagine that 22, 23, 24, if we ever made more factions,
there is a post
harder and harder and harder.
On BGG. There's a post about almost every single faction being broken. And I don't want that to change. I want to make sure that we get posts about all three of the new factions being broken.
100%. Next up,
are there errata for rules and cards that got changed since the original campaign with new campaign? Yes, there will be.
We are making, and it's coming out very soon. It's a 2.0 guide. So basically, what's happened is, as the game got out, and of course, you make a game and you think you've tested everything, and then a bunch of players go, you know what, you haven't tested. I'm still holding moons after my turn. Can I discard them or not? Or something that happens where it's a fact and it keeps coming up. So what we did was there was a reprint of Andromeda's Edge that's hitting stores now, basically this month. That reprint is basically the 2.0 edition, but its changes are very minor because Luke and Maximus did all their due diligence on the cards. To the most part, everything was pretty set. I would say it was down to about under 10 things where it was like a tweak to a wording. So in 2.0, we have those tweaks done, and we're making a PDF that covers those tweaks. And literally, if you read that PDF once, you'd go, okay, that's nothing. There's nothing really changing about this game.
Yeah.
But we're going to put that PDF out so that everybody has that information about what is different.
And it's just one piece of paper front and back.
Yeah. It's a really simple amount of stuff. The game is essentially the same game.
Is there a way to get some kind of cheat sheet for the rules in a new campaign that can help teach the game to new players if you didn't play it for a while?
Oh, so that's going back
This
to...
is like, when we went to Essen and we taught the game to people, like in a hour, we just like basically gave everybody a really quick pitch. This is is there a teaching guide?
There are some brilliant videos that you can
videos
use.
are
Yeah,
really, really great.
there are some.
Maple University's videos, super, super clear.
The best thing I always found the best thing to do is send the video to your mates you're planning on playing it with beforehand, so they have a rough idea before they go in of what they're going to be doing. But it depends on how people learn. People learn in lots of different ways. I learn by playing. So my first game I'm rubbish, but the second game, beware, because I know what I'm doing.
There's got to be some guides out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are the other two people in your 2v2, Luke, against him? Are you doing a 2v2 or are you doing a 1v1?
So yeah,
picking another
we don't
team?
we don't have the what is it, the
likes. So we gotta get to 1,500 likes first.
Yeah. We gotta rescue Tim from Unity. There is still a 2v2 that we still need to air, Rosie, eventually.
There is indeed.
I had a 2v2 game where I played against Grant Lyon and Danny Sandring, and I was teamed up with Jason Headley, and I was a terrible teammate to him. And because here's what I thought I know the game, so I'm going to handicap us. I'm going to give Danny and Grant really aggressive factions, and then Jason and I will have engine builders. And then Danny and Grant being handed the keys of the universe with aggressive factions. We're like, you're never getting out of this alive. So we'll have to pull that 2v2 up someday, because
that'd be like time travel if you put that.
Yeah.
A new video.
Everyone will look different.
I lost that for our team, so I feel very bad about that. But I can't wait to show you 2v2 is my favorite mode of that game, because you have at least one person who's not trying to kill you.
I don't know. Maybe we should get Mark Dandridge out here to be on it.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. Shout out to the daily puzzles. Who made those? They are extremely fun. I made them. No, Rich Molina made them, and the story is actually written by Luke Laurie. So I hope you're all enjoying an insight into more of the lore of Andromeda. And go back and read them. Go back and read the story. It's really cool.
Yeah, the puzzles this time, we asked Rich if he would just make it so that one puzzle was up at a time, and then he came up with the idea that you're in sort of an enterprise. You're a ship that's lost in space, and you're trying to recover this lost tech, or you're trying to figure out what happened. And it's very much like a Star Trek episode. And then Luke got in there and actually put some of the lore from Andromeda in there, and they worked together with Rosie. It's great. You're getting a little episodic puzzle here.
Yep, absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
And
everyone's snapping through them.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to see people to crack these things, because, it's just a side quest to do, but it's really fun to get everyone talking with each other. And then you find out who's played the game, who hasn't played the game yet. A lot of people end up becoming friends in our Discord with same time zones or whatever. It's really fun.
If you haven't done the puzzles or haven't really engaged with them yet, if you are fast enough and get at the top of the leaderboard 1, 2, and 3, then you win a Genesis level pledge, like added to your pledge, so $29. So yeah, basically it's worth if you're good at puzzling, and some of these people are cracking them fast. It started hard, but it's getting less difficult. So
here's the beautiful part about the puzzles. If you don't want to do anything, because some people are not good at puzzles and they don't want to do it, you get the cards that everyone else unlocks if they do the puzzles. So you get to actually kind of go, oh, cool, you just got more content from my game. And then there's incentive for the people who want to crack these things. You not only get those cards, but you can win a Genesis pledge. So
someone mentioned they're released in the middle of the night. They are released at various times whenever Peter and I are available to release them.
Yeah, we did one that was definitely at the beginning of the UK day, and we just did one that was very, very much at the beginning of the LA day. But we're doing them in all parts of the afternoon. So
yeah, all times.
This is space. Everywhere is, time independent. It is the middle of the night right now.
Somewhere.
Just not right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been to the UK? Oh, cool. It's always great. What species are the raider ships? Since Puzzle 5 implied they are manned by people.
So they're not a species per se. The raiders are interstellar beings of mysterious nature. And in fact, the the battles take place against the raiders, and it's still all kind of a mystery of who and what they are. And part of the story of Genesis is the kind of the discovery of what drives them, because the same oozing fluid that powers their ships is this corrupt matter that flows in their veins.
Wow.
So it's this idea that these beings, they're not a, you know, race per se. These are beings that could have been from many places and from many times, and they've been corrupted. They've been corrupted by this matter. They've become something else. They're part being organic, part machine. And in the process of discovering this is what drives the creation of the Innovation Hub, and it drives the motives for the player factions to go about restoring the corrupted stars, because these are stars that have grown dimmer because of the same very corruption, and removing it will allow them to recover their brilliance.
This is good stuff. It's a compelling story. I like that. I like where Genesis is going. It's like everyone's arrived at Andromeda's Edge. I also really liked in the beginning game too, is like you're a desperate faction. You are coming to the edge, and now you've been here a little bit and you're finding out there's some deeper secrets. Yeah.
And this is a game with violence. And, you know, when we started, we don't want this idea of like, okay, everybody sit down at the table, and the winner is the most violent person to take over and destroy everybody else and control the most territory.
That's actually why I don't like sci-fi games.
There's a lot of games like that, and people enjoy them, and I play them sometimes too myself. But I feel like there's something more personal about attaching yourself to desperate circumstances, to attaching yourself to this idea that I'm just trying to survive here.
Right.
I'm just trying to do my best to make it. And there's inadequate resources, there's insufficient space. And then also, what the heck? What are these raider things coming out of nowhere? What's driving them? And I don't like the idea that the raiders would simply just be the baddies, and that they're driven by, you know, power hungry thirst.
Flip the table. I actually, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I have played many sci-fi games where you build up this armada and you go hunt people down. I like it a little bit less in, say, Eclipse, where I feel like I have to build up this whole force and then turtle or be attacked. And then if I get attacked, I'm basically out of the game. I like it a little bit more in Roy's game, Last Light, because he's deliberately making that process of attacking and so forth be really quick. You get wiped out, you come right back. One of the reasons why I like Andromeda's Edge is because if you get into a fight, if you go into the scrapyard, you're likely getting benefits. Sometimes you wanted to go there, and it's very easy to recover from that, and it's very easy to bounce right back. So nothing feels like nothing. I can play a game with Rosie or you or Tim, and I can escalate against you, and we can have a little bit of a rivalry without me feeling like, oh, I punished you to the point where you're not going to have a good game. You're not going to be able to come back from this. I think I played, I don't remember the name, but I played a game with Will Brown one time where it's a really good sci-fi game, but the first battle we rolled, I was like, that determines everything. Like, if you roll well, I'm out of this game. And if I roll well, you're out of this game. So I don't think that exists in Andromeda's Edge. I really like that part of it.
Yeah, everybody loves an underdog story. I agree with you. I think that was Andy who said that in there. And
people want you to write a book.
there's also this. Yeah, I'll write a book. Give me a minute. There's also
I like the idea of including story in the appendix, though. Some, like MP said, be cool to include some of this. We do put lore in there. It is in there. It is throughout the page. It's all in there.
Yeah. Somebody asked, is this on your questions list, Rosie? Somebody asked about favorite reference, favorite Easter egg.
That was, I think it was Meg who asked on another thing, but yes, that is on my list.
I challenge people to find how many song references or band or lyric references are in Andromeda's Edge or in the lore or on the GameFound page. And there are a lot.
Here's a cheat sheet. Just go find Luke's post in Facebook, and his Spotify playlist will tell you a lot of the references.
Oh no!
It's really great actually hearing where you get some of this stuff.
That's really cool.
Major Tom, that's very funny, because there was an entire there's a Unity commander named Major Tom, and then there was an entire. So Rich thought that was so great. There was an entire puzzle based on this as well.
Turn it
Okay.
on.
Looking forward to the Cosmic Frog and the Cube Raiders. What Raider idea did you have that didn't make the cut this time around?
Ooh. I am terrible at remembering what wound up on the cutting room floor because
there was a space chicken, I believe, that was definitely floating around my head.
I can assure you
it was a faction. Maybe
I can assure you we had a simple fence that kept that one out of the idea area.
Hey, I got a frog in through Will. I paid him a lot of money for that.
part of designing complex games like this is, in order to be able to pull it off, I have to be able to switch and focus. And I can't be thinking about what cut. Like, it ceases to exist. It's gone. I have to focus right here on what is and what's in front of me.
I might be able to hold on a second.
Yeah, there's some fragments on a spreadsheet. I think Peter's looking at it right now. Some of those were his ideas, and some of them were ours that we tried. And I know one.
Will there be a video showing all the next content fitting in the original box? Yes, there will. I will make it. Yes, they will. It will probably be a shorter video that you can watch the full video fitting everything in, and then there'll be a little tag on it going, go to this one for Genesis, so I don't have to post another 40-minute video for you. You can just jump to that. But yes, absolutely, we'll definitely do that. And then Game Toppers was here. Congratulations, this is such a great production and gameplay. It's so immersive for me. I am super impressed with the art. When we received the sample mats, I was seriously blown away. We've done a lot of amazing thematic mats, but this one is special. So thank you very much, Berkey. It's it's really lovely quality, honestly. They're so nice.
Game Toppers mats are so amazing.
They're so good.
It's hard to explain, but they're thick. They're like, they have one of the thickest neoprene and they're like the best stitching. It's such good quality.
But I was looking at the mat last night because I don't own one, actually, not yet. But I was here at the headquarters, and I was staring at the mat during the game because Peter was taking too long on his turn. And there's so many details on.
It's stunning.
Like, you could look at this thing for hours, and you will find things in there.
And I think right in saying that the bigger the mat, there's just more art, right, Peter? Because
there's on the one that's the largest one, Sergio
72 inches, There's a little bit more on the ends because it's longer.
I think we heard some of those old Raider ideas. But
there was a Raider that ate moons. It was a planet eating like giant rock.
I do remember that thing.
And it was just big and tough, and it was marching around the galaxy eating the moons.
I love that.
They got cut. Didn't make it. It was a little like the crew that doesn't make it at the beginning of Suicide Squad. Just not the main story.
If people had really great ideas, would you consider publishing a fan faction pack in the future? Like, I think Unmatched do that. They have decks that their fans create, and it's like a whole community of people that create these fan decks. It's a cool idea.
That would have to come with a shield that would protect against the pitchforks of will it fit in the box.
It'll
be its own little box.
Okay, I got some names of old factions, old Raiders. Okay. First of all, the one that ate planets, you're talking about the Gravenon.
Oh, the Gravenon Batholith.
That's what it was. Basically, it basically ate the moons, and you had to go fight it to get them back. But you also had the Dodecaract, which was going to be
a 20-sider.
Yeah, you were going to basically, to fight it, you had to roll this D20. These are the reasons why this did not make it in. I mean, it was too luck-based on beating that thing. You had a malfunctioning portal, Phantom Charge.
There was a Vorticon Dreadnought.
Okay.
Original Raiders, way back, there were 3 kinds. There were like the base Vorticons, the medium Vorticons, and then they were all Vorticons. It was all Vorticon. So your bad guys were basically a fleet, unified. They were more like what Unity is, and so you were going up against this enemy fleet.
Yeah.
The strikers, the only ones that survived that.
One of the things that I liked about that is that originally that was Unity being like sort of imperial armies. Basically, Unity had all of the Vorticons at that time. It was like, it was like you were constantly running against that raider as like your default raider, and then some special ones would come in.
And then, but that shifts the story to feeling more like you're at war.
Yeah.
Versus the war's over. The war has left everything destroyed. You got away from the war. You're out here.
You're in the middle of
nowhere. You're in nowhere.
Yeah. It's the multiverse stuff coming at you. You don't know what's coming out of the nebula next. It could be an ion storm. It could be a hive with hornets coming at you. It could be the galactic kraken.
And then the final question a few people have asked, Luke's thoughts on any future expansions. Genesis will be great. Just wonder if he thinks more can be added to the game.
I think
come back in a year.
There's always strengths in looking at the painting and seeing how much you could paint more and different. And then you also can get diminishing returns.
My art teacher used to tell me to like, just stop right there. Just stop.
Yeah, same. They'd be like, just don't do it going too far.
I feel super comfortable with where Andromeda's Edge is right now. Like this feels like
but the universe could expand.
The universe, the galaxy, though, we could just go somewhere else in the galaxy.
We could go somewhere else in the galaxy. We could look at the galaxy in a little different way. But we have plenty of time to think about that. It's going to be, not till next year where people are going to really get their hands on Genesis. And I hope it's going to give them many months or years of solid play before they'd be itching for anything new. I mean, I have played hundreds of times. A lot of people have played scores or hundreds of times, and you're still discovering the game at that point.
If I get a post that Mark Dandridge has found something new, then I know that everyone can still find something new because he's played so many times.
Right. Let's pick a winner.
Let's do it.
Let's pick a winner. Okay, so your last moments, do #ToTheEdge ! To be in with a chance to win a mat and a dice tower. You do have to have pledged or do it before we need to send you the add it to your pledge. And I will tell you how you can contact us once we picked a winner. So I need to share my screen. So I'm just going to do that. Going to pick.
Oh, this is how this works. The StreamYard. You share your screen and it shows you the
okay.
Oh, look at this.
We have 71 entries.
Nice.
Well, apparently now it's like 73 entries. And it tells me that even if you've done it multiple times, you're still only one entry. I see you. I see you all. Right. Let's go.
Anybody's doing it right now is trying to get in again.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to give you 5. Oh, wait, let's do 6, 5.
Oh, like the cube.
3, 2, 1. We're going to go.
All right, here we go. Oh, wow, look at this. This is fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
Hey, Roasty Toasty.
Nice.
Okay, if you're here, Roasty Toasty, hopefully you are.
Mat and Dice Tower.
Holy smokes.
Look at this thing.
Email hello@carbalacme.com with your details, Roasty Toasty. And if you might be come back to check if you've won. If you're watching later, feel free to email us. But yeah,
I did see Ellie's name come up twice. So if it had come up Ellie, I was going to say it was rigged, but we did get a winner there. That was really fun. I'm glad that StreamYard has that in there because now we can just make a giveaway stream.
There we go, Roasty Toasty. I love your name so much. It's making me hungry.
I just think we can give away tons of stuff every stream. So I hope you'll come back for more.
Yeah, you never know with how delightfully in advance we gave you warning for this one. Who knows? Maybe come back next week. But yeah, really, I'm very appreciative of there being a feature. We were like, how are we going to do the giveaway? And I went, I wonder if StreamYard has a feature. Google, it does.
was. Yeah,
That's very
thanks for
helpful.
everyone being here. If we didn't answer your question, we do have a Facebook group for Andromeda's Edge. We also have this YouTube. You can put a question here and we'll get it on another week. You can come into our Discord. You can play Andromeda's Edge, chat with Luke, chat with Rosie, and chat with our team and basically the community that's solving puzzles, and you can have a good time in there. So, or you could stay on the Game Found wall and chat it up. Go answer that. We posted the dream team of ship upgrades, and I want to hear if that team is one that you would run out there with in Andromeda, or if you'd build a different team.
And I'm in all of those places. But another really great place to connect with me directly easy is BGG. If you're on Board Game Geek, because of the way that the subscriptions work, I never miss a message.
It goes right to his inbox
on any of my games on BGG. So if you've got something, post it over there. We can start a thread. And an advantage there too is that anything you ask on BGG gets read by other people who they're arriving and they're like, what is this game all about? What are these, what's this thing? And they haven't necessarily been a part of our, insider groups before. So they don't get all of that.
Luke is everywhere. He is Unity when you're playing solo. He is on BGG. I also like how there are experts now. There are people on BGG that know things, and if you don't get it in 2 seconds,
that's right.
There'll be someone else saying like, I totally have been through this as well. I figured this out with Luke. I figured this out a couple months ago.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, we do have a BGG page for Genesis. There is forums there. So you can go in there, or you can just do it in the Andromeda's Edge forum as well. Luke will see all. I also am in there, just not as much as Luke.
And I also love that I will say that I love Game Found and I love the comment wall, but most of the time the people on the comment wall are people who are struggling with some part of it. So we rarely ever hear someone come back on the comment wall and be like, I love Andromeda's Edge. But I will say that when someone comes by and says, I just played this at my store, or I played it with a friend and I really liked it, I love hearing that. So if you like playing Andromeda's Edge just like we do, of course, let's start some chats on that as well. Because I really hope that we've made something that feels like all of us can play it and talk strategy and figure out the best moves. I love playing in our Discord and getting my butt kicked by people who already understand this game better than I do. And I help make it, right? And like, oh, that's a good move right there. I had never thought about that.
You know what's funny also is people apologize. They'll ask a question. They're like, oh, I was kind of wondering about the Martian terraformers, and I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm like, I love talking about the Martian terraformers.
Yeah, right.
I think all of us love talking about these games. This is why we're doing this. It's not this is fun. So please.
Yeah, I get rules questions for Flamecraft in my personal DMs. And I'm always like, hang on. So it's very sweet. Like the I don't know how they find me, but it's very sweet.
Slusha Story is saying that we should actually show this scale.
Put it next to Luke's head.
He wants it in the campaign because he's saying in the campaign.
Oh, okay.
How big this is.
It's a forearm. It's pretty tall.
Yeah, we'll put a picture of Luke and then the dice tower next to him on the floor.
The dice tower, I'll be looking up at the dice tower.
Yeah. Absolutely. Put it next to a banana or a reference pair. Absolutely.
So we didn't get a chance in this stream to talk about things like Flamecraft Duels, which is now on boats, and all the other things we're cooking on Cardboard Alchemy. But come back for another stream. We'll have lots more.
Anyone here from Critter Kitchen or Flamecraft, I appreciate you coming.
There's secret things on Critter Kitchen too that we got to talk about.
There's stuff coming.
But also, we're focused on Andromeda's Edge. We have a campaign that goes until September 24th. I don't know if anyone knows this, but on GameFound, they have something called Endgame, where it might even extend past the 24th if people come in at the final hour. And so, we're going to have something fun planned for that as well. So be sure to see through the whole campaign because we got some more stuff.
Yep. See how long we can last.
Cheers, everybody. I hope you have a fun weekend gaming.